Good evening and a very warm welcome to those who are watching me live right now or those who would be watching the recorded ones. So, today's topic is PTSD. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes before we dive into the topic. Let's just hold on for a couple of minutes. One more minute and then we shall start. All right, I think we can start, and those who will join in later or watch the recording, uh, you can ask your questions when you go through this video, and I will try my best to answer all of them. So, as I discussed in the last live in our Facebook page, that this month is dedicated to trauma, and last live we spoke generally about trauma in general, actually, and today it's a more specific kind of trauma, which is PTSD. So, many of you already know what is PTSD, and for those who do not know, PTSD stands for post traumatic stress disorder. So, which means this is something which comes up after the trauma episode is over. Okay. So, post traumatic stress disorder is basically a mental health condition which happens after you have either experienced or witnessed a terrifying incident. So, not necessarily it has to be a first hand experience, but often it can also happen that you have been a witness, a third party witness to that incident, and you still go through that trauma. Okay. So, PTSD is a mental health condition which many people goes through after they have witnessed or experienced a traumatic incident. Now, PTSD, this is the new name. Basically, it was initially called shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome. Now, why shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome? Because these two names, basically the entire concept of PTSD comes from the battles or the wars that were fought. So, during those time when the soldiers were constantly in the battlefield and they were constantly fighting, so they have seen many deaths around them. Their friends are being shot, and then the constant shelling of bombs and everything, and that used to have a very lasting impact on their brain. In fact, there are many people who are kind of many soldiers, especially because I have had my brothers and my uncles who have served Siachen and Kargil. So from there, I also have seen them that suddenly in the middle of the night they wake up and they go through extreme discomfort and nightmares and flashbacks and things like that. So that all of that is coming from basically the PTSD, and that's why the names were shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome. So these names were taken from the battle equipment. But now it has been observed that PTSD is not only limited to warfield. It can be for various traumatic incidents that we come across. So it can be like accident, it can be abuse, it can be natural disaster, it can be anything like that. All right. So hi Aheli. So far we have just discussed the types of what are the different types, what is PTSD all about. So I'll just give a small recap because you just joined in. So it is a terrifying, once you have experienced a terrifying incident, it leads to a certain mental health condition, either experienced or witnessed a terrifying incident. So initial names of PTSD were shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome, because these two PTSD concept comes from war zones, but now the PTSD is actually can be applied to various other fields of our life, which can be your as I was saying, accident, abuse, relationship issues, or it can be natural disasters, anything like that. Okay, so now this entire thing of when we go through a trauma incident, what usually happens when we go through a trauma incident, usually people have certain kind of physical and psychological symptoms that they go through, and then they recover. Usually that is the thing. But then when if people are not able to recover forever, let's say months or years, and they are actually interfering with your general lifestyle, then only we can say that a person is going through PTSD. Okay, all right. So examples I've already shared what is PTSD all about. Now symptoms of PTSD, there are various symptoms of PTSD, and now PTSD is not only associated with adults, even children can face PTSD also. Okay, sometimes PTSD can also be because of the harassment that you had to go through at different places, at work, at in a public transport. So these can lead to traumatic experiences, or there is a constant flashback, there's a constant anxiety that is working within you, and sometimes you start, every time there is a trigger, you relive the entire traumatic experience, and that makes it even more difficult. In fact, when it comes to children, what they do is, if they're 6 years and younger, they start enacting the traumatic event in the role plays or in during the playtime. So that's how powerful it is. Last time also I gave an example that when you go through, a very simple example is that when you go through an accident, the memory that is stored along the in and around the accident, that the jerk, the breaking of glass or anything like that, even if you forget the incident, if suddenly that kind of a jerk happens, you just remember everything, flash of a second. So for a PTSD person, they are remembering it every minute or every hours, or they are just sleeping and suddenly there is a flashback and they just sit and they don't know what to do. Many of the PTSD people are given anti-anxiety pills to control their anxiety, but yet it can be done in better ways without medication too. All right, so let's now just discuss what are the different types or the different symptoms of PTSD. Few of them I've already spoken about. Definitely flashback is one major thing of PTSD. A lot of flashbacks with same intensity. Now the severity and intensity of PTSD of course is different for different people, but flashback is something which is common. You just listen to something and everything triggers and you're like, oh god. So you just remember everything. So that is post-traumatic stress disorder. Suddenly, let's say somebody has passed away in your family, and you experience a similar incident or a similar news, and suddenly you go through your entire cycle once again. So if you have not recovered, in all, if you have not recovered from your traumatic memories and traumatic incident, then you continue to relive that experience every time. You continue to go in that loop, and that interferes with your lifestyle. That is called PTSD. Okay, so what are the symptoms? As I've noted down, there are intrusive memories that you have that leads to different kind of flashbacks. Then you have recurrent, unwanted, distressing memories of the traumatic event. It is very vivid. The memories are extremely vivid. You can basically explain the entire scene with exact where how it was. So it's that vivid it is. You have upsetting dreams or nightmares of the event. You are reliving the entire event through your flashbacks. Then you have severe emotional distress and breakdown at any point of time. Like, it's not like it will only happen at night or in the day. Anytime you can just have a breakdown. You tend to avoid people, you tend to avoid certain places. You know that these places will be triggering me. You are not neutralized yourself completely from those triggers. So that is another thing. Next is you constantly have a very negative thought about your life, about people. You feel people are horrible. You feel that less people you chill with, less shit you deal with. This kind of theology starts developing. And then you have problems with concentration, you have problems with memories, you don't tend to remember everything properly because it affects your cognitive ability. When so much of traumatic event is happening, it affects, and when you try to think a little bit more, then you have headache, your head starts paining, you have a splitting headache, and that kind of, you feel that it's better not to think. It's like there is always a brain fog. You have a foggy brain, you don't know, you don't have any clarity of thought. It impacts your concentration, it impacts your social skills. You tend to avoid or distance yourself from the activities that used to give you a lot of pleasure before. So you often can also feel emotionally extremely numb. You don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, and it is very difficult for yourself to express everything that is happening when you're going through PTSD. And because the triggers are so active, that you are always on your guard, because you're just trying to protect yourself from everything. You are become so protective that you basically cut off yourself from everything. You become very frightened easily, you become startled easily, you tend to cut everybody off, and you're just like in your cocoon, you're trying to protect yourself. Okay, you have trouble in sleeping. You have because you get nightmares, you're very afraid what will you see when you sleep. And you have this overwhelming guilt or shame. Suddenly you have sudden outburst, and suddenly you have an overwhelming guilt, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. So, and you just basically feel that you're responsible for everything, although you're not, and you feel that this loop will never end. Okay, so why does it happen? Of course, the traumatic event is definitely one of the reason, but apart from that, there are definite everybody's hormonal balance is different in their brain. So the same incident, if you encounter and I encounter, I might go through a PTSD, you might not, because of the hormonal differences that we have in our brain. Plus, if we have a previous history of anxiety or depression, that can also alleviate the symptoms of PTSD. All right. Now, as I said, the intensity of the symptoms would vary from person to person. For some people, PTSD usually starts to begin by third month of the event, and for some people it can start after 1 year of the event. So many people would say everything is done, everything is sorted, but then suddenly you start getting the triggers. It all depends on when you start getting the triggers, basically. So, for example, last in the trauma episode, I also spoke about that if you have been a victim of abuse, then when you try to get intimate with your partner, then suddenly the triggers, maybe 15 years have passed in between. But if the issues are not solved properly, it is kind of repressed. So anything that is repressed will come out eventually. Ma'am, does PTSD take place after trauma gets cured? No. Or both are different things? No, PTSD is a type of trauma. So trauma is general, PTSD is a type of trauma. So if you remember, last time we spoke, acute trauma, PTSD and complex trauma. So PTSD do get cured, and if it gets cured, then you won't have triggers. So it is very important. The problem is, no problem Chandrani, but you can actually see it from the very beginning. We are almost towards the end of the session. It is a very short topic, but yet very intense. No problem. So what I was saying is, mostly PTSD people are given medications. Some medicines are given, chalo ho gaya. The problem is medicines is only working on the just superficial symptoms, superficial anxiety and all, but it is not desensitizing the triggers which is leading to the anxiety. And that is why many people keep on having the recurrent PTSD, or they can even have it after 15 years of gap, or 3 years of gap, or 4 years of gap. But when you start working on the actual root triggers and the root causes, which cannot be done by medication, that's why there are different therapy techniques. When you work on those, so basically you're desensitizing. It's almost like, let's say you have a cut here and you put a band-aid. No, not a good example. Let's say you have cough and cold, you have antibiotics. So when you have a lot of antibiotics, every time you have cough and cold, you have 5 days of antibiotics, and then you are done. And again after 1 week, you have again antibiotics. 1 month again you have cough and cold, again you have antibiotics, and this entire thing is continues in a loop, because antibiotics arrests the symptoms, it does not really solve the problem. And whereas when you take homeopathic medicine or home remedies, that is basically aggravates the situation, taking your entire cough out, and then you are fine for a long period of time. So that is exactly what PTSD, if it's cured, if the triggers are cured, if the symptoms are completely cured from the root, then it will not come back. But if it is only upar, say it is only just sorted, then there are chances of coming back. So PTSD is a type of trauma. If somebody said that you are going through PTSD, you are anyways going through a trauma, but a very specific kind of. But if somebody is called to have acute trauma, then specific incident has led to that. And if somebody is said to have complex trauma, that means no one incident. There are many incidents throughout the life which has led to this current state. Okay. So, as I was saying, that if the family has this previous, this history of depression and anxiety, or if the parents have a history of depression and anxiety, these are genetic traits that stays with the child, and that often can lead make the child more susceptible to this kind of mental health conditions. I would not say it's a disorder, because that's like outcasting the person. I would just say it is a kind of mental health condition. Then only when you know it's not a disorder, it is easier to solve. The moment you know it's a disorder, oh my God, I have disorders, that means I am an outcast. So automatically there are certain blockages. So I'll just call it a mental health condition. All right. Now, another thing that a PTSD person would tend to do is suicidal. The person like to kill themselves because they cannot take, there's too much of noise going in their head, there's too much of things, they are not able to take it, as if like their head is going to blast. So that is the condition of a PTSD person. Okay. And sometimes to get rid of these things, PTSD person also get addicted to various substances like drugs, like alcohol. Smoking is very bacha, they won't do that, but alcohol or drugs or anything just to forget those incidents. So when you are dealing with PTSD, you also tend to get involved into addiction, and then addiction leads to more PTSD, PTSD leads to more addiction, and this vicious cycle tends to continue. Okay. So this is how PTSD works, and there are many web series that has been that was done in Z5 and Hotstar and things like that, which has clearly shown how PTSD is. I don't remember the exact name of the web series, but there is this one in Z5 starring Arjun Rampal, where he was a pilot, war aircraft pilot. I don't remember the name of the web series. There he was going through PTSD, and it shows what PTSD is. Like, sleeping, suddenly get triggers and he wakes up and he's desperately looking for anti-anxiety pills. So anxiety pills can only reduce the anxiety, but it does not reduce the reasons for which the anxiety is happening. So till the time those guilt, those shame, those complexes, those circles are broken and it is solved, PTSD will not be solved. Many people go through extreme harassment at workplace. So suddenly, for various reasons, and some people are able to thrive in that. Some people are able to resolve that, but some people go through an extreme catharsis and it becomes extreme horrible for them, and then it becomes very traumatic experience. Now if they are just given medicine only, it will just upar say it will be solved. But when you are working on the root causes and you have to face the problem and then get rid of it for good, that is when the actual PTSD is solved. Okay. So as usual, the treatment for PTSD will be definitely cognitive behavior therapy. Along with that, you have EMDR, where exposure therapy, basically, where you are exposed to your fears, exposed to your memories, and then we are distorted the memories. Then systematic desensitization, like desensitizing the triggers, so that the trigger, even if the trigger is there, it will no longer have impact on you. Music therapy, dance movement therapy, all these things also helps to release these things. Yoga, meditation, calming techniques, all these things. Along with that, what is more important here is family therapy. So often PTSD is the triggers are the family members. I have seen people. I'll just give one example of PTSD. This person is going through an extreme complex traumatic situation. Now the person is consulting me, this is a real life scenario, okay? This person is consulting me. I'm trying to help the person to break the loop and to get her on her own feet. Then I get to know that the parents are doing everything, but then the parents are also texting on the phone that these are the neurologist number and the psychiatrist number, you can visit them also. So basically you're not saying it, but your every action is triggering the person more that, you know, I am at fault, there is something wrong with me. And then the entire trigger of episodes happen, that I am like a burden, it's all in me, then goes through the guilt and shame and everything. So family therapy is also equally important in case of PTSD. All right. So that is pretty much, I think, it is like, unlike trauma, PTSD is a very small topic yet very intense. And usually when person is going through trauma, PTSD comes hand in hand. But not all PTSD people will have all experiences of trauma. But trauma people usually have the this kind symptoms of PTSD associated with it. So the best way of dealing with PTSD is to sit with it, talk about it, know your triggers, getting rid of the triggers, face the memories, distort those memories, and then cooperate with whoever you're working with, whichever professional you're working with, a therapist or psychologist, anybody you are working with. So cooperate with them, know your body, know what is working for you, know where to stop, know where to start. And at the end, if nothing works, then only medication is the option. Because as I always say, medication is only going to solve it superficially. But if you need proper solution, you need to know where the problem is and get rid of it. Okay. So that's pretty much about PTSD. Thank you, Chandrani and Ahili, for joining it. And those who are going to watch it later, if you have any question, please feel free to post. So because once we post this live, then the initial comments that are there in this live is not there. So if you have any comments or anything, you can post there and I will be happy to answer that. But know that if you're going through PTSD, don't be ashamed. Please ask for help. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thank you Chandrani and Ahili, and thank you the rest of the people who are just getting more awareness through these lives. Take care of yourself. We'll be coming back with the next live this Saturday on our Instagram page, that is Festive Art. We are going to make some art therapy based live this Saturday on our Instagram page. So stay tuned everyone. Take care.